Good afternoon and good morning. Welcome to the online 2020 KIAT. The KIAT has been held since 2010 to provide leading Korean and European industries, academia, and research institutions with the opportunity to identify potential R&D partners and discuss ways to implement R&D cooperation projects. A flagship event, the KIAT is key to promoting close technical cooperation between Korea and Europe. Due to the COVID pandemic, this year, the entire program will be held online. We will have an opening ceremony, 4 keynote speeches, and 3 concurrent seminars. We look forward to your active participation and interest.
안녕하십니까. 한국산업기술진흥원 석영철 원장입니다. 2020 코리아유레카데이에 참가하신 여러분을 진심으로 환영합니다. 코로나19 확산으로 어려운 환경이지만 국제기술협력을 원하는 여러분들의 소망과 산업통상자원부, 유레카의장국, 그리고 여러 관계기관의 도움 덕분에 온라인으로 행사를 개최하게 되었습니다. 여러분을 직접 만나지는 못하지만 공간을 뛰어넘어 세계의 더 많은 분들과 함께 할 수 있어 더 뜻깊게 생각합니다. 지난 2010년 처음 개최된 코리아유레카데이는 한국과 유레카 회원국 간 산업기술 분야의 탄탄한 국제협력 파트너십을 상징하는 연례 행사입니다. 지난 10년간 2,400여 건의 기술협력 매치메이킹이 이루어졌고 이 중 상당수가 실제 국제공동 R&D로 성사되어 각국의 기술 경쟁력 제고에 크게 기여했습니다. 올해는 어려움을 극복하고 개최된 행사인 만큼 특별히 유익하고 다양한 프로그램으로 구성했습니다. 글로벌기술협력 포럼에서는 국내외 산업기술 전문가들이 코로나19 이후의 글로벌 산업기술 변화와 공동 R&D의 중요성을 전달합니다. 유레카세미나에서는 국제공동 R&D의 실질적 지원 내용, 유레카 회원국의 전략산업, 그리고 클러스터별 추진 계획이 발표됩니다. 구체적인 기술 협력을 논의할 1대1 상담회는 화상 미팅으로 진행되지만 그 어느 해보다 열기가 뜨거울 것으로 기대합니다. 참가자 여러분, 한국에는 비 온 뒤에 땅이 굳어진다는 옛말이 있습니다. 어렵더라도 이를 해결하는 과정 속에서 더 강인해진다는 뜻입니다. 지금 우리는 사람과 물자의 이동이 가로막히는 유례없는 위기 상황에 처해 있지만 상생과 협력의 정신을 바탕으로 해결책을 찾기 위해 노력한다면 보다 혁신적인 미래를 만들어 나갈 것이라 믿어 의심치 않습니다. 오늘 행사를 위해 노력해 주신 한국산업기술진흥원 관계자 여러분, 그리고 행사의 성공적 개최를 지원해 주신 산업통상자원부 유레카의장국 관계자분들께 깊이 감사드립니다. 행사에 참가한 모든 분들이 성과를 얻어가는 유익한 시간이 되길 기원합니다. 감사합니다.
Now let us officially commence the 2020 KIAT. Now we have a special video with a congratulatory message. Why don't we take a look together?
여러분 반갑습니다. 산업통상자원부 박진규 차관입니다. 전 세계적인 코로나 위기 상황 속에서도 오늘 제11회 코리아 유레카데이를 개최하게 된 것을 진심으로 축하드립니다. 어려운 상황에서도 글로벌 기술협력의 장을 만들어주신 오스트리아 유레카의장국 올라이 슈 의장님, 한국산업기술진흥원 석영철 원장님, 그리고 유레카 회원국을 비롯한 관계자 여러분들께 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 올해 행사는 온라인으로 진행되어 여러분들을 가까이서 뵙지 못하지만 기술 협력에 대한 여러분들의 열정은 제가 있는 이곳까지 전해져 오는 듯 합니다. 한국은 지난 2009년에 글로벌 기술협력 네트워크인 유레카의 비유럽국 최초로 준회원국으로 가입하였습니다. 한국 가입 이후 캐나다, 남아공, 칠레 등 비유럽 국가들의 유레카 가입이 계속되고 있습니다. 한국의 활발한 활동이 유레카의 저변을 유럽 너머로 확대하는 데 큰 기여를 했다고 생각합니다. 한국은 지난 기간 유레카를 통해 154개 과제에 1억 유로를 투자하고 한국의 300여 개 산학년이 800여 개의 유레카 파트너들과 협력을 추진하여 신시장 개척, 혁신 제품 개발 등의 성과를 창출하였습니다. 특히 국내 중소기업 HPK는 유레카를 통해 프랑스, 벨기에 등과 디스플레이 제조 기술 개발을 성공하여 글로벌 밸류체인에 처음 진입하였고, 이를 계기로 2017년 유레카 혁신상을 수상하기도 하였습니다. 또 다른 기업 오이솔루션은 네덜란드, 핀란드 등과 차세대 네트워크 장비 기술을 개발하여 관련 제품의 매출이 크게 확대되었습니다. 코로나가 우리의 일상을 바꿔 놓은 지도 10개월이 다 되어 갑니다. 코로나는 우리의 일상뿐만 아니라 산업 환경도 근본적으로 바꿔놓고 있습니다. 코로나로 가속되고 있는 미래 불확실성, 글로벌 가치 사슬의 재편, 그리고 디지털 전환이라는 거대한 산업 환경 변화는 개별 기업과 국가 차원의 폐쇄적 혁신만으로는 한계가 있습니다. 국가 간의 전략적인 협력을 통해 글로벌 차원의 혁신을 도모하고 신속하게 기술 패러다임을 선도해 나가야 합니다. 이런 차원에서 세계 최대의 기술 협력 플랫폼으로서 유레카 프로그램은 포스트 코로나 시대에 더욱더 중요한 기능을 하게 될 것입니다. 참석자 여러분, 앞으로도 한국 정부는 유레카와의 연대와 협력을 더욱 강화하기 위해 최선을 다하겠습니다. 먼저 유레카 핵심 전략인 글로벌 유레카 가치에 부응하기 위하여 유레카의 아시아 거점으로서의 역할을 확대해 나가겠습니다. 특히 한국의 유레카 활동 경험을 아시아 등의 유레카 참여 희망국과 공유하기 위하여 참여 관심국들을 초청하여 코리아 유레카데이 등의 교류를 행사를 추진하겠습니다. 수소, 미래차 등 한국 정부가 적극 추진하고 있는 신산업 분야를 중심으로 새로운 협력 프로그램을 제안하고 신산업 표준화 협력을 위하여 유럽 표준화 기구 활동도 강화해 나가겠습니다. 한 아이를 키우기 위해서는 온 마을이 필요하다는 아프리카 속담이 있습니다. 산업도 마찬가지로 자동차 한 대를 생산하기 위해서는 7,000개 이상의 기업의 협력이 필요합니다. 코로나 바이러스의 진정한 무서움은 다양한 주체 간의 단절을 유발하는 것입니다. 감염의 공포가 기업 간 협력을 저해하는 이때에 우리가 선택해야 할 가장 효과적인 해법은 바로 연대와 협력의 힘이라고 생각합니다. 전 세계적으로 다양한 혁신 주체들이 더욱 강하게 연대하여 서로를 지켜내고 서로의 강점을 극대화함으로써 오늘의 어려움을 이겨내기를 기대합니다. 오늘 개막하는 코리아 유레카데이 행사는 코로나19로 사상 처음으로 온라인으로 진행되지만 온라인 장점을 활용하여 협력 파트너와 자유롭게 의견을 나누어 좋은 결실을 맺기를 기원합니다. 감사합니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the chairman of Eureka and president of the Eureka Association, it's a great honor and pleasure for me to welcome you at the Korean Eureka Days. This event has become over time one of the highlights of Eureka chairmanships, and so it is also for the Austrian one. During the Austrian chairmanship, Eureka will celebrate 35 years anniversary. Starting as a Western European initiative, Eureka meanwhile is a truly global institution. In 2009, Korea became an associate member of Eureka, and since 2017, Korea joined as a partner country. Korea, consequently, is the lead of the Eureka Global Outreach. And this has been proven by the very successful call with Korea this year. Austria, as a small open economy, will support intensifying and extending the global outreach of Eureka. One specific characteristic of Eureka cooperation is that activity of one member country is to the benefit of all other members. There exists a strong positive externality of activity. Therefore, we are also proud to welcome Singapore as a new associate member of Eureka at the beginning of the year 2021. After 35 years of existence, it is not only time to celebrate, it is also time to reinvent our common strategy. During Austrian chairmanship, Eureka will enter into a new era. The goals of the Austrian chairmanship are reflected in our chairmanship program titled New Eureka, and we will have three main areas of action. First, we will introduce the new instruments of Eureka, most prominently the new Eurostars partnership with the European Commission and the new Eureka Clusters program. Second, we will enlarge and deepen global cooperation with Eureka, with the reassociation of South Africa and Chile as members and welcoming Singapore. And third, we will encourage all stakeholders to increase their engagement within Eureka and inviting them for closer cooperation and coordination. Austria will specifically have a focus on activities of Western Balkan member states. I very much regret that we are not able to meet here in person, given the challenging circumstances we face. We still hope that there will be the possibility to organize events next year during our chairmanship. Please note that we plan to have a meeting in Vienna on the 22nd of March, where we will celebrate 35 years of Eureka and will have a presentation of the new Eureka strategy. End of May, we will organize the Eureka Global Summit in Graz, where we hope to welcome most of you in person. At the heart of Eureka is cooperation between SMEs at the international level. That's why today's event is essential in bringing together partners all around the world. I wish the organizers and wish all participants all the best for this stimulating and fruitful event. Thank you very much for your attention.
안녕하십니까? 코리아유레카데이 가시를 축하드립니다. With the signing of the Scientific and Technological Cooperation Agreement in 2006, the European Union and the Republic of Korea have maintained a very robust cooperation relationship. As an official member of Eureka, the EU has been supporting joint research and innovation cooperation programs between Europe and South Korea for many years. Korea's capacity and the level of participation shown in the European multilateral research and innovation programs have been indeed very impressive. Today, we need cooperation more than ever to resolve the enormous global challenges we are all facing, including the COVID-19 pandemic. I am confident that with your high technological capabilities and the industrial leadership, we can go hand in hand with European know-how and creativity. Europe and Korea need each other also in research and innovation. The successful opening of Korea유레카데이 is a testimony of what we can achieve together. 감사합니다.
Thank you. And now let us start with the keynote speeches. First, Mr. Stefan Spica, a policy analyst of the European Policy Center, will deliver a keynote speech titled Green and Digital Transitions, Aligning the Two Agendas.
Good day. My name is Stefan Schipke, and I'm a policy analyst at the European Policy Center, and I'm happy to present this topic on green and digital transitions, aligning the agendas for the 2020 Korea Eureka Day conference. A couple of words about the European Policy Center itself. So EPC is an independent policy think tank based in Brussels and committed to making European integration work. It's a non-profit organization, follows and analyzes the European policymaking process. And I would say that some of our main outputs are events and publications, policy papers of different kinds, different sorts. And we publish around 80 or more than 80 publications per year, and also more than 150 events are being organized by the EPC per year. And we cover a number of policy areas of relevance to the EU, including sustainability. The main focus of my work was environment and circular economy, but also in the last couple of years, we have been exploring the linkages between sustainability and green transition on the one side and digital transformation on the other. And this is something that I'm happy to discuss today, to present some of our findings when it comes to these linkages, focusing mainly on the EU, but I'm sure that most of these findings are also relevant to the non-EU countries. But first things first, I would just like to remind us of the scale of the scale and magnitude of the sustainability challenge. Of course, it's a very complex topic, but I just think it's good to remind ourselves on the importance of the importance and dangers regarding global warming, pollution, biodiversity loss, and resource depletion. It more or less boils down to this. It's an existential crisis. Sustainability crisis is an existential crisis, and we need to act urgently if we actually want to avoid, or let's say reduce the damage being done due to this crisis. But also we are now facing already an existing corona crisis, and there is now the priorities on the recovery process. Green transition is important for this process as well. We shouldn't forget about sustainability when we talk about supporting our economies to recover. Why? Because when we talk about sustainability solutions, it's not only, these are not costs, these are actual investments. So if we invest in climate change, in mitigating and adapting to climate change, that can actually lead to economic benefits. And otherwise, we will have economic costs, and also it will have wider socioeconomic crisis, even greater than the current one. Air pollution. If we reduce air pollution, improve the air quality, that's good for the economy, and of course, most importantly, for our health. Otherwise, we would have hundreds of thousands of premature deaths like in Europe per year, and also it's bad for the economy. Circular economy is also good for the economy and also creating new jobs, but also it can create improved resilience, because think about recovering critical materials from used electronics. So you can recover these materials from your country or region, and that is basically that can support making our economy more resilient. And last but not the least, nature is often undervalued, although it's undervalued because it's we don't see the economic benefits, but actually when you dive deeper into the topic, you see that actually it brings a lot of value. For example, EU's nature brings at least 200 to 300 billion euros per year to the EU economy, but we don't see it, but it's there. So we shouldn't forget about biodiversity too, and this is just to show how actually sustainability, greater sustainability of our economy and society can also be good for the economy, and it can support the recovery process. Meanwhile, we are experiencing in our daily lives, but also our economy is going through this other transition, and new developments are being, we can see new developments, innovations, new solutions, tools being invented every year, or even earlier, shorter than that. And in a nutshell, we could say that we are experiencing the digital transformation. We're witnessing this, all of us worldwide. And so we have, in the last couple of years, DPC has been observing these two developments, and we noticed that there are no significant efforts to actually align the two agendas. We have the green transition on its own pathway, we have digital transformation, but no interlinkages, or they are very weak. And if it continues that way, we will have either these two transitions going their own separate ways, but even worse, they can go against each other. We don't want that. We want them to be addressed jointly and to exploit the synergies between the two transitions. So, namely, to use the green and digital transitions to support the sustainable, to contribute to a more sustainable, climate-neutral, resilient, and competitive Europe. Green Deal, here you can see here it's more highlighted because probably you know that Green Deal is now the new growth strategy, and all policies need to be aligned with the Green Deal. So we can use green and digital to support these higher level objectives. But how exactly? How can digitalization serve as an enabler for the green transition? Well, namely by improving knowledge, information sharing, and connections, by improving products, businesses, and processes, and by improving governance itself. And in the next couple of slides, I will showcase this with a couple of examples, but there are many more. So, for example, Food Cloud is an online app solution which is facilitating communication between retailers who have surplus food and charity organizations that actually want to distribute the surplus food to those in need. And via this app, this communication is more efficient. Therefore, food can be saved and distributed to people, to those who are in need of this food, instead of actually wasting food. Then you can also see that there is a Flourish project who has developed an AI, artificial intelligence solution for precision farming. So basically, drones collect environmental data, and these data are fed into, are used by unmanned ground vehicles, basically robots, to spray optimal amounts of pesticides, fertilizer, and other chemicals, which we don't want in huge quantities in our soil, of course. But this optimal amount means that you can actually reduce the amount of these chemicals being used, which is good for, which can contribute to more sustainable agriculture and protect our nature. Also, now you have apps such as Scan for Chem that consumers can use to scan a product and actually ask the producer to provide information about the presence of certain hazardous chemicals in products. And also you have solutions like Circularize that actually that use blockchain solutions to improve transparency and communication across value chains. And this is important to highlight this case because information sharing is of significant importance. We can't have greater sustainability and circular economy without sharing information across value chains between different stakeholders. On the other hand, we have concerns over data protection, personal data, IPR, business sensitive data. And this is the challenge is to reconcile these two priorities, data protection and data sharing. Circularize is an interesting case because their blockchain is used as a pathway, secure pathway, so that, for example, recycler can ask the producer, recycler can scan the QR code on the, let's say, used screen and ask the producer to provide information, ask the producer actually, is there mercury in the screen or not? And this is much more efficient than to dismantle the equipment and then find out whether there is this substance or not. So this is an example how, for example, a producer can provide an answer to this question, and this information is accessible by scanning the QR code itself. Then when it comes to improving products, businesses, and processes, digitalization can actually support service-based business models, sustainable servitization, and also dematerialization, if I may add, because the idea is you don't need a car, you need mobility, right? So WIM is an example of an app that actually consumers can use to find out what mobility options are there for them in their city, for example, and it can be cycling, cars, metro, or combined, multimodal or intermodal mobility options, and also they can purchase the mobility service via this app instead of and that can incentivize using mobility services instead of, for example, owning a car, which can have many benefits for environment and sustainability. Then also artificial intelligence can speed up research and development. Here we have the example of Accelerated Metallurgy project, which has demonstrated that AI can speed up the discovery of development and discovery of new metal alloys. And this project is not directly linked to sustainability, but it demonstrates that AI can be used to speed up the research and development process, and then you can think of also developing new, more recyclable or durable materials, which can then make our products more sustainable. Also, 3D printing can provide important contribution to making our processes more sustainable, be it industrial production or construction. Here we have the example of Winsun, which is a Shanghai-based company which 3D printed a number of buildings, thus saving costs and and also resources. And of course, there are many other examples that you can 3D print shoes or different kinds of other equipment, and which can also be good for sustainability. Then you can use ThyssenKrupp. ThyssenKrupp is actually a company which is gathering data about elevators, which this company is providing, and uses Internet of Things to actually do predictive maintenance. So you can use IoT and digital solutions to actually repair products and increase their lifespan. And last, when it comes to waste management, already robots and artificial intelligence are used to help in waste management, namely such as waste sorting, as well as dismantling. And here we have the example of Zen Robotics, which uses these solutions. Lastly, governance. The European Space Agency is already using AI in its satellites to improve collection and processing of data obtained via Earth observation. And also there are different databases already developed by European Environment Agency, very active in this when it comes to also this data gathering, data management. When it comes to biodiversity, it can also be relevant for agriculture. And when it comes to implementation, there are these algorithms like a web crawler, spider bots that can browse the internet and monitor market surveillance, help market surveillance authorities to improve their performance because of this data gathered from the web. And also, CITES convention is actually a convention that's regulating the trade on endangered species, and this can be improved. This process, this surveillance can be improved by iCITES initiative, which is already developed but needs to be further scaled up, which is basically like electronic information exchange between customs, different authorities involved in this kind of surveillance of international trade in endangered species, and also restricting this trade. So there are many opportunities indeed. However, these opportunities come with a number of caveats, namely electronics consumes a lot of energy and critical materials. AI can also make unsustainable decisions. So basically, ICT products, infrastructure, as well as software can, if not sustainable, can lead to greenhouse gas emissions, resource depletion, and e-waste. These are some of the facts and figures to basically showcase the magnitude of the problem, and it's getting even worse. The shares of greenhouse gas emissions and total energy demand is increasing, and e-waste is, you may already know, the fastest growing waste stream. So we need to also tackle the environmental impacts of digitalization, not only to consider it as an enabler for green transition by default. And now, just to also show a couple of examples that there are certain developments already taking place when it comes to greening ICT. For example, when it comes to infrastructure, here data centers are especially important to make them more sustainable. And for example, Green IT Cube is an energy and resource efficient data center that also has the German Blue Angel Eco label. But also Google is has reduced energy consumption of its data centers, and also is heavily reliant on renewable energy, and at some certain points is using 100% renewable energy as a supply for operating its data centers. When it comes to ICT equipment, Fairphone is a company that has developed a mobile phone which is modular in design and also favors durability, and also uses recycled and fairly sourced materials. And Apple is also aiming to actually use only recycled and renewable materials in its products and packaging, and already is doing so for certain products, namely when it comes to using 100% recycled aluminium. So this is already happening, but they are aiming for more. And then when it comes to policy, policy recommendations, this is just a couple of them I wanted to share, but then again, these recommendations are much more elaborated in our studies. So when it comes to, say, data angle of the entire this entire topic, Europe, the EU needs to create this kind of a European data space for Green Deal and the resilient economy. You may know that as part of this whole Green Deal initiative, Green Deal agenda, the Commission has envisaged establishment of a number of data spaces. These data spaces are meant to be frameworks, establish a framework architecture for standardizing data and also establishing rules how data is to be shared, collected, processed, analyzed, and so forth. So it's not like a technical, one-size-fits-all technical solution. It's not like a database. It's more like a framework for managing data in a better way. And there are a number of data spaces that actually will be established on agriculture, industry, mobility, and so forth, but also for Green Deal as well as circular economy. So, and when these data spaces are developed, and this needs to be developed, it's a lengthy process, but it needs to remain on top of the EU's agenda. Basically, these different rules need to be established. Technical standards need to be established on data sharing, collection, treatment, processing, and overall better data management, also of relevance for greater sustainability. Then investments are needed to develop and deploy digital solutions for greater sustainability. The EU has this chance to actually use now the new multi-annual financial framework, is basically the framework which is governing how the EU will spend its money in the next decade, coupled with the new recovery instrument. So there are billions of euros that can be used to support further economic development, including recovery, but also deployment of digital solutions. And what is important is that digital infrastructure and let's say digital solutions all are modernized, that they are being developed and used in the EU, but also that we ensure that these solutions that are supported from the EU budget are used for achieving Green Deal objectives, or it doesn't go contrary to these objectives. one important thing to highlight is that infrastructure needs to be further developed in the EU itself, because we need to have better infrastructure if we want to have digitalization also for sustainability. So it's fiber or 5G or increased internet coverage. And Korea is actually a very good case, an example of a country that invested successfully in better ICT infrastructure, to my knowledge, for example, when it comes to 5G. So the EU also needs to look at these examples and actually also invest more into to set the basics right. But also in doing so, the ICT needs to be greened itself, as discussed, and which means introducing new requirements on ICT equipment, whether we talk about mandatory voluntary eco-design standards, also new requirements on the intake of recycled materials in new ICT equipment, or using other instruments such as public procurement to create demand for more ICT equipment. Infrastructure, as discussed, needs to be developed, but also needs to be more sustainable. So this needs to be an important condition when supporting development of ICT infrastructure to make, for example, our data centers more energy efficient, reliant on renewable energy, more material efficient. Last, but not the least, software needs to become more sustainable. So we need sustainability criteria for software, because depending on the design of the software, hardware can consume more or less energy, or also hardware can be compatible with the new software or not. It very much depends on the software, and if it's not compatible, you may need to buy new hardware, although the old hardware could still be used if the software is more designed in a different way. So we need sustainable software, and we need rules to incentivize the development of such software. So in a nutshell, these are some of our findings, some of our insights and recommendations we've been working on in the last couple of years, but there is much more available in our studies on this topic, and these studies are publicly available at the EPC website. And I invite you to have a look at these studies. But of course, I'm more than happy to further discuss on this topic. Thank you very much.
Now, Mr. Jong-yeol Kim, the Director of Deloitte Consulting Korea, will deliver the second keynote speech titled Digital Transformation, Enhancement of the R&D Ecosystem.
Hi everyone, it's really nice to meet you here at Korea유레카데이. This is Jong-yeol Kim, who is in charge of government and public sector at Deloitte Korea. I think it's really important for me to share all the ideas and this subject with you guys here, because in terms of the digitalization of all the society and industry ecosystem, it's really important for companies to develop or to enhance their internal organization and also new business. So all these kind of issues are really happened, and also we could see so many changes around our environment. So today, let me talk about the environmental transformation. So how it's going on, and what kind of things and what kind of factors has been changed around us. And secondly, I would like to share some paradigm shift in R&D ecosystem. Which means that in an R&D ecosystem, there are so many changes and differentiations in this system in terms of the digitalization. From them, I want to talk about where we are now in terms of our capacity and our core capabilities in the digital area. And finally, let me talk about the digital enhancement, especially from the R&D ecosystem perspective. First of all, I would like to focus on the transformation in our society at the moment. In these days, there are so many different types of challenges and changes in our surrounding. It's really important for us to focus on this transformation because our society has been changed a lot, and also the speed of these changes is so fast. Majorly, when we are talking about the goals and challenges, we can say the three major goals. The first one, economic growth. Yes, especially the economic growth is the main point and main subject at the moment for the companies and for us also in terms of the COVID-19. Actually, we are having so many difficulties in order to develop the new business or in order to spread or expand our new services or product because of this kind of disaster. So the economic growth, this issue should be one of the most important factors for us to focus on these days. Then secondly, let me talk about the quality of life. Society ecosystem and internal organization, and especially the disruptive technology, and data and security, and finance and funding, finally, the policy and regulation, all these kind of things are, we can say, enablers for transformation in our society. First of all, I think the speed of technology innovation, especially these days, is accelerating in terms of various tools and open platform. What it means. For example, when we are searching for some information in order to make a documentation or in order to get into the new market, what would you do? For me, first of all, Googling. It's really easy. Let's get back to the 10 years ago, or 12 or 15 or 12 years ago. Even if at the time we had these kind of platforms and internet, it was not easy for us to search for or find out those kind of information. But at the moment, there are so many different types of tools, really easy tools and open platform, what we can do search for very easily. I think this kind of disruptive technology innovation should be one of the most factors in this transformation these days. And also, I would like to talk about the digital transformation in industry ecosystem. The major issue should be disappearance of boundaries. It's not only about the society or technology, but also all the social value. So for example, the human and machine. All right, we can say there are some differences between human and machine at the moment. But I think after 5 years later or 10 years later, I think the machine, we can say robot, could be the almost same characters with human being. So this kind of machine could do something, the right thing, what human being doing. And also physical world and digital world. It has been integrated so fastly. Nowadays, it's pretty difficult for us to figure out the main differences between physical world and digital world. You may have heard about the digital twin or smart plant, all this kind of stuff. We could say digital world, no, or physical world. We can put the physical world into the digital world through the digital transformation and the technology. Actually, this kind of technology evolution and new social value are key triggers of digital transformation of industry ecosystem. So let's talk about the digital transformation of industry ecosystem. In this ecosystem, I would say 5 major key drivers we can say the AI, cloud, IoT, mobile, and big data. These key drivers make our industry ecosystem to be more efficient and to be more effective. And of course, all this kind of industry ecosystem, in the middle of this ecosystem, there is a data. So from now on, I think the data should be one of the most important key successful factors for the companies, of course, for the people, to doing something new. All right, and from the customer side and the business model transformation perspectives, let's see this. All this you can see the companies, Amazon, Google, YouTube, Instagram. It's easier for us to remember, right? Because you can use these kind of tools and you can use this kind of website platform every day. At the first time when they developed their technology and platform, the speed of growing was not so fast. But in the meantime, when they started to focus on the customer, the speed of growth has been increased a lot. And the speed is so fast. So it's incredible. We cannot imagine how it has been growing so fastly. Why customer comes critical when discussing changes, innovations, and growth? Nowadays, sometimes customers have more information than us. So let's think about it. I want to sell my product to the specific customer. But when the customer has more information than how I can sell it? Which means that there are so many different types of tools and open platforms for the customers. So the customer, they are smart and they are getting smarter and smarter and they have more information. So which means that the companies should focus on the customer very, very carefully in order to grow. And secondly, let me start with the paradigm shift in R&D ecosystem. Of course, you may have already known about a lot of R&D ecosystem trends in the world. Especially R&D paradigm has been evolved rapidly based on open innovation, convergence, and digitalization. The first thing, the open innovation R&D, what it is. In the past, usually the companies, they are considering the R&D inside of the company, which means that the concept of R&D should be the long-term perspective, and also all the activities regarding the R&D has lower efficiency. But at the moment, they are focusing on lean R&D activities, which means that our environment has been changed so fast, which means that the companies, they don't have enough time to develop the new technology. In this case, what kind of things they should do? Yes, they need to merge or they need to acquire the technology. That is we can call it A&D, acquisition and development. And also there are another case. We can call it C&D, connect and development. When we don't have any specific technology and core capabilities in order to develop the new technology, we can connect other side who have the main technology. At the moment, it's really easy for us to find out this kind of partnership in terms of the R&D technology. because the information system also has been developed a lot. So it's getting easier and easier for companies to find out the right partner in order to develop or in order to get the right technology. And finally, we can also say L&D, which means that launching and development. It's also because of the rapid changes, our environment changes. And secondly, in the past, we can call it one-size-fits-all approach, which means that in the R&D governance, all the process and all the framework are the same or really similar to each other. But at the moment, we can call it converged R&D governance. Within this converged R&D governance, we need integrated approach. And also we need open platforms because there is no barriers. And finally, I want to talk about the commercialization. In the past, when we were talking about the R&D, we were focusing on the originality or the basic studies or the specific solution or package. But at the moment, many companies and many scientists and many technicians, they are focusing on the practical applications. What kind of R&D should be really important for us to develop the new product or new services? So that's why there are so many total packages in the market. And also we could see so many E2E providers. E2E means end-to-end. So from the first step to the last step, we are considering all the steps and all the processes regarding the R&D commercialization. Let's see this chart. Actually, major global leading companies have been carrying out CVC, A&D, and collaboration as a core R&D strategy for innovative growth. Among the S&P Global 1200, probably you may know so many companies here in the list. Alphabet, Intel, Salesforce, Qualcomm. These kind of companies are really famous for the R&D technology innovation. The CVC means the corporate venture capital. So these kind of companies, they need to develop the new services or new products very fastly. So that's why, in order to get the core competitiveness, in order to get into the new business model transformation, they need to acquire or they need to invest on the startup and innovative companies. And secondly, I want to say the A&D, acquisition and development. Actually, it's based on the M&A strategy and beyond the industries. So when a company, this kind of global leading companies, they need some specific solution or a specific technology, they just buy it. They just buy the company who has the main core technology. It's easy. It's because of the new growth momentum, and also there's no enough time. So that's why these companies need to buy, and these companies need to find out these kind of technologies in a rapid market. And the final thing I want to say, the collaboration R&D. Yes, actually, the reason why we would like to do the collaboration in our R&D ecosystem, the first reason is the cost. We need to reduce the investment cost, and also we need to reduce the operation cost during the R&D process. And also, we started to find out the synergy effect with our partners because our environment, business environment, has been changed a lot and has been growing up so fastly. So that's why we need partners. So this kind of three strategic approach for R&D innovation is the major key successful factors for the global leading companies. And then let me talk about the smart enterprise. I think you may have heard about the smart city or smart nation or connected country or connected companies. Yes. In order to consider seamless operation, this concept, smart enterprise concept, has been rising. This seamless operation during all process based on digitalized S&OP operation structure, market insight, business information of products based on systematic lifestyle, smart logistics operation through automations. All these kind of things are happened in these smart enterprise surroundings, which means that our supply chain management and supply chain logistics has been changed, especially in this red circle. That is the factors and the processes what I need to talk about, because it's really important for the R&D ecosystem and also R&D processes these days. So that's why I want to say the new R&D trend. If someone asked me, what is the main trend of R&D these days? I do say connected PLM, connected product life cycle. It makes R&D processes also changes. So from the project management in traditional R&D functions to the customer claims, we need to consider specification, quality, and cost. So when we are talking about the connected PLM, we need to consider all these kind of issues and factors from 1 to 14. Within the product life cycle management, there are so many things and so many factors we need to consider. Even if we are only need R&D activities, we need all these kind of processes, and we need to discuss about this kind of all processes within the connected product life cycle. All right, so from now on, I want to share where we are now from the digital transformation perspective. I'm not sure how many of you guys here have some knowledge or insight or some experiences on the digital competitiveness of South Korea. I think it's really important for us to be proud of our country at the moment, especially from the COVID-19, our data system and data governance and data ecosystem has been improved a lot. And so many countries, including developed countries like USA, UK, Canada, and Japan, nowadays they started to ask us how you can handle it. Let's see this. This is a chart that is published by OECD. You can see the digital government index. We are on the top, Korea. In terms of the digital design, data-driven approach, government as a platform, in all the factors, we are leading country in the world. And from the government perspective, also we could see the Republic of Korea in the second ranking. Yeah, actually the Korean government has been investing a lot in the digital transformation in public sector. I remember from 2010, our digital government, at that moment we can call it e-government. At that moment, we invested a lot in this kind of process and platform in order to achieve the digital competitiveness in the future. Now, it takes 10 years, right? Nowadays, we are in the top level in the global. And also, our digital R&D ecosystem is really complicated because there are so many different types of stakeholders and they are working together. But I would like to focus on this. The R&D entities are at the center, indicating that successful digitalization is always innovative R&D centric. So when we are considering the R&D governance, let's see our R&D governance in the national level. We can call it R&D support system in South Korea, especially in the public sector. Of course, at the top, we have a president who is a decision maker. And also in the middle range, there are 19 government departments who are developing the policy and regulations regarding the R&D. And also, we have R&D institutions who can develop the detailed master plan of R&D, and also they can implement some R&D systems or R&D infrastructures. Actually, our government set up the national R&D governance in order to enhance innovative capabilities of various stakeholders, like what you saw in the last part. Yes, and in order to enhance this R&D ecosystem in our country, we have really great challenge at the moment, which is the Korean New Deal. As you can see here, we have 10 key projects and 28 the related projects. All these kind of projects are related to digital transformation. So which means that the R&D ecosystem has to consider this digitalization, also the transformation, in order to develop and in order to achieve the main goal. All right, finally, in the R&D ecosystem, let me talk about the key successful factors. I usually say the first factor should be the role of government, especially in the digital transformation of R&D ecosystem. It requires a government that is able to combine 6 roles and make deliberated choices on the mix of these roles. So there is a strategist, and there is a solution enabler, and also there is a regulator, there is an innovator. And finally, let me just briefly to share some ideas in order to enhance this R&D ecosystem. The first one, the Open Innovation R&D Platform City. Of course, at the moment, some metropolitan government has already started this concept in their city. So we need to consider to build Open Innovation R&D platform, leveraging all the great advantages what we have. In this R&D platform, we have Digital Academy and Collaboration Office, where all the stakeholders are getting together in order to discuss new business and new services. And also we have Digital Data Exchange. We can call it Public R&D Data Hub. And finally, we have Disruptive R&D Lab, which is the most important factor here in the R&D platform. And also I would suggest this virtual M-Lab program. Virtual laboratory platform based on Open API Cloud. Then all many kinds of different stakeholders in the R&D ecosystem, they can share the specific information, and also they can share some ideas together. And also all these data in this virtual lab, it needs to be developed by companies and key holders, stakeholders in the R&D project. Of course, it could be multinational companies, but also it could be startups and also it could be some R&D institutions. In order to develop, set up this virtual laboratory platform, we need a linkable database. At the moment, we already have so many different types of public database and other private database. And also, we have some public entities who can provide the important information or trends to the stakeholders in the R&D ecosystem. So among these virtual laboratory platform, we can develop the matching project, and also stakeholders can discuss the real-time technical information, and also some investors, they can support for specific startups in terms of this kind of platform. So this is my personal suggestion in order for R&D ecosystem to be digitalization. All right, if you have any doubts or any questions, please contact me directly. Actually, I just include my email address here. So whenever you have any questions or doubts, please, you can send me an email. Thank you very much.
The third keynote speech will be delivered by Mr. Moon Jung-kang, Vice President of Hyundai Motor Group. The title of his presentation is Facilitating the Future of Mobility with Hydrogen.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to welcome all of you virtually with me today. Briefly introducing myself, this is Moon Jung-kang from the Institute for Hydrogen Industry, Hyundai Motor Group. Today, I would like to share the vision for hydrogen society. More specifically, I will go through how Hyundai Motor Group has been working to make valuable contribution to hydrogen society, and also the latest global hydrogen movements and efforts all around us. Hyundai Motor Group's identity has been deeply rooted as an automobile company. Today, however, we are changing to become a smart mobility solution provider, not just an automobile company. We are therefore committed to leading the future of mobility with cars that are clean, autonomous, and connected. We are offering various models for hybrid electric vehicle, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, battery electric vehicle, and fuel cell electric vehicle to offer a cleaner and healthier tomorrow. We will increase the number of eco-friendly car models to 44 by 2025 with 22 battery electric vehicles and 3 fuel cell electric vehicles. Our next generation fuel cell vehicle Nexo is also called as a running air purifier. It represents a clean mobility as it can reduce carbon dioxide just by running on the road. Here I would like to share a short video clip showing Nexo.
Nexo.
We are focusing on autonomous mobility to let a driver enjoy the true freedom in mobility. In September last year, Hyundai Motor Group formed a $4 billion worth joint venture with Aptiv, self-driving technology startup. Afterwards, in August this year, the joint venture was given a name Motional, and it is planning to test fully autonomous vehicles for ride-hailing services. Is it possible to self-drive for 200 kilometers? Yes, it is, with Hyundai autonomous fuel cell electric vehicle Nexo. Back in early 2018, Hyundai Nexo successfully completed a self-driving journey for 200 kilometers from Seoul to Pyeongchang. This is the very first time in the world that a level 4 autonomous driving became possible with fuel cell electric car. Let us enjoy the fascinating moment together. after the successful journey of Nexo in 2018, we did not stop there. Since November last year till now, we have been testing the self-driving technology of Nexo in urban area, one of the most congested districts in Seoul, Gangnam. With Seoul Metropolitan Government, we are aiming to make Seoul the most advanced city with autonomous mobility platform. The test is being undertaken whether the technology is safe enough, and we expect that such tests will pave the way to establish a new standard for autonomous mobility in the near future. We made another success in self-driving in November last year. 40-ton Xient trucks were tested for truck platooning on a 7.7 kilometer long smart highway. The smart highway is a testbed road for autonomous vehicles, and the driving environment is almost same as normal highways. Headway between trucks are autonomously reacting to distances. Truck platooning will become the future technology to revolutionize the freight and logistics on highway. Let's watch the video to see how two trucks are driving responsibly. We are offering a connected mobility to connect your car with your world. Nexo is not just for driving pleasure, as it can give you more. Nexo can power the precious moment of our daily lives. To meet the Paris 2-degree target, going electric or electrification through renewables would be a key part of the recipe. What does this mean? It means electrifying 27% of road transport, 45% of buildings, and 25% of industry to reduce carbon emissions. However, there still remain hard-to-abate sectors: 73% of road transport, 55% of buildings, and 75% of industry. Fuel cell electric vehicles can help decarbonize mobility segments with longer ranges and more weight. In a town hall meeting October last year, the Chairman Chung said the group will remain an automobile manufacturer, but will focus on becoming a future mobility solution provider. In the future, traditional vehicles are likely to account for 50%, with private air vehicles and robotics taking up to 30% and 20% respectively. Then how can we respond to this upcoming change? We expect that fuel cell can be an answer to the question. Among the options for autonomous vehicle, we believe that fuel cell electric vehicle will be the most appropriate option. The Chairman Chung said, as for the right model to become an autonomous vehicle, hydrogen fuel cell electric cars will be the most qualified to turn into an autonomous vehicle, as they are capable of driving a longer range compared to all electric ones. In Korea, hydrogen refueling stations are two kinds. One is H Station, invested and built by Hyundai, and the other is by Hydrogen Energy Network, HyNet. HyNet, a special purpose company, is leading the construction of hydrogen refueling stations for passenger vehicles. Hyundai, as the second largest shareholder of HyNet, are making efforts for well-established hydrogen infrastructure. Furthermore, we will have another SPC called Kohyzen launching next year, which will construct stations specialized for commercial vehicles, and Hyundai will also take a role there. At the moment, there are 39 hydrogen refueling stations under operation, and among them, 8 stations at H Station, directly invested by and branded as Hyundai. You may find Nexo fuel cell taxi not just in Korea, but also in Europe, Zurich, Switzerland, and Berlin, Germany. With its excellence in a long-range drive, Nexo is definitely a suitable option as a taxi fleet. Nexo also joined both domestic and overseas police fleet in England, Italy, Germany, and Switzerland. Once again, Nexo's long range around 600 km per single charge is very appealing as a police car. Exient fuel cell is the world's first fuel cell truck powered by 190 kilowatt fuel cell. This 34-ton heavy-duty truck can drive up to 400 km per a single refueling. Hyundai exported 10 Exients to Switzerland in July, and 40 more will be exported by the end of this year. By 2025, a total of 1,600 units will be exported. This is a 4.5-ton garbage truck, also powered by 190 kilowatt fuel cell. Considering the driving pattern of a garbage truck, usually very late at night, the noise-free feature of fuel cell truck is certainly a merit. Fuel cell bus is also in service as public transportation. While there are not many fuel cell passenger cars on the road yet, the fuel cell bus will let public experience fuel cell electric vehicle. In December 2018, Hyundai announced a long-term roadmap, FCEV Vision 2030. In 2030, we are aiming at producing 700,000 fuel cell systems annually. Among them, 500,000 will be used for manufacturing Hyundai fuel cell electric vehicles, and the other 200,000 will be applied as a fuel cell system itself. How can our vision be realized? Fuel cell system can be applied to various applications, as I introduced in previous slides. Its broad applicability opens up a wide range of opportunities to apply fuel cell system to all the road, water, and air transportation, and even power generators. Expanding the applicability of fuel cell system, Hyundai Motor Group developed a fuel cell forklift prototype in this September. The load capacity is 5 tons, which is the first of its kind globally. It is planned to make the technology out in the market as soon as in 2023. Fuel cell system will be also applied to the hydrogen electric tram, which has been under development by Hyundai Rotem since January this year. We will see the first demonstration case in April next year. Furthermore, early this month, Hyundai Rotem signed an MOU with Korea Railroad Research Institute to develop and commercialize fuel cell train. Our fuel cell system is an eco-friendly, durable, and safe solution. To drive our hydrogen vision, Hyundai will help the production cost of fuel cell system in the next 3 to 4 years while doubling the lifespan of the system. In September, we made a very remarkable step as we exported the fuel cell system to Switzerland. More specifically, to the Swiss company named GLZ Technologies, specializing in hydrogen storage tank technology. It was the first time that we exported the fuel cell system to non-automobile OEMs. We hope that this will be the cornerstone to spread our fuel cell technology in European region and in various applications. As touched upon in the previous slides before, fuel cell system can be used for power generators. Lately in August, Microsoft started testing fuel cell system as a backup power at the data center in Azure, US. Since fuel cell system can provide a high-quality electricity, power demand at data center can be well addressed by fuel cell system. And this is certainly an area of interest which Hyundai is capable of. We expect that such innovation will take place in Europe and globally, not only in the US. To make this future image come true, fuel cell UAM is under the plan. At CES, Hyundai and Uber announced a new partnership to develop air taxi for a future area ride-share network. It is expected to see UAM fly over the sky in the US in the next few years, and preparing for this grand change, Hyundai will enter UAM market in 2028. Hyundai will leverage its competitive advantage in automotive manufacturing experience, being capable of mass production and applying its fuel cell technology. I have explained and shown you how Hyundai has been making efforts for hydrogen society. Now I would like to move on to the next chapter, global partnership. To lead a hydrogen society worldwide, Hyundai cannot stand alone. A global partnership matters, and we have been aware of this so well. Our global partners are scattered all around the world, as shown on the map. Hyundai is actively engaged with public and private partners to realize its vision for hydrogen. In Europe, Hyundai is a member of Hydrogen Europe and has a number of partnerships within the hydrogen value chain. With Hyundai's global commitment to hydrogen society, Hyundai served as a co-chair of the Hydrogen Council throughout 2018 until July 2020. As a global company leading hydrogen technology, Hyundai will continue to collaborate with Council members to accelerate our future towards hydrogen society. All the major countries have come up with national hydrogen visions, strategy, and roadmap. Last year, Korean government announced the national hydrogen roadmap. Recently, over the past few months, we have seen lots of European efforts to establish national hydrogen strategy or roadmap. Consecutively, Netherlands in April, Portugal in May, and Germany in June, followed by EU strategy in July. And most recently, France announced the national hydrogen strategy in September, and afterwards, Spain's hydrogen roadmap came in October. All those movements have been taking place in a relatively short term. Under such policy directions, we expect to see hydrogen society in not so distant future. Imagine how cities will transform to adapt to future mobility in the so-called hydrogen society. Mobility hub, UAM, and PBV are the core elements shaping future mobility. Hub is the center of mobility transfer and passenger gathering, where UAM and PBV, purpose-built vehicles, are all connected. This is not just an imaginary future, as we are currently making actual efforts for it. Under the partnership with UK company Urban Airport, we are planning to build UAM stations in UK. To that end, we also signed MOU with 2 cities, West Midlands and Coventry, for UAM research. The video clip will deliver more than words about Hub, UAM, and PBV. It was unveiled at CES in January this year, showing our innovative vision for a cleaner and smarter city without carbon emissions. Laura is flying by UAM, the Urban Air Mobility. She is heading to San Francisco to attend the City Mobility Conference 2030. No problem for UAM to fly over city areas, as it is quiet, economical, easily accessible, and most importantly, emission-free. 2 of Laura's friends, William and Anderson, are also coming to the conference. They will meet at the SOP, the Smart Mobility Hub in the city. William and Anderson hop on a PBV, purpose-built vehicle, which is a completely self-driving mobility solution. Literally, it is personal built, as it can be customized for one of each rider's convenience. William, having been tired of night-long work, is taking a nap while on the PBV ride. Anderson called the PBV, which arrives for him to ride on time.
Hello, Anderson.
They meet at the hub, the space where UAM and PBV are all connected and passengers are interactive. The hub is a place for mobility transfer and also for community activities. PBB is not just a moving trend. PBB itself or a group of PBB can be used as a private lounge, food court, hospital, auditorium, and etc. depending on how its purpose is personally designed. It caters various lifestyles of riders. This is a grand vision that a single company cannot reach. In other words, we will continue to discover more joint opportunities with potential partners. We expect that there will be great synergies between Hyundai and partners in Europe, since Europe is the region at the forefront of global green growth and future technology. Now, I would like to finish my presentation here. I appreciate your time and this opportunity sharing the vision for hydrogen society. If you have inquiries, please contact me at the email address ihi@hyundai-ngv.com. Thank you.
Last but not least, we will have a keynote speech by Mr. James Hoyer-Yoon, Senior Vice President and Managing Director of Samsung Biologics. The title of his presentation today is The Future of the Bio Industry, Preparing for the New Normal After COVID-19.
My name is James Young. I'm the Senior Vice President of Samsung Biologics. It is my great honor to present at the Global Tech Forum 2020 Eureka Day, the future of the bio industry. Today, my presentation focuses on the bio CDMO business with the title of How to Prepare for the New Normal After COVID-19. If you see current biopharmaceutical market, please see the left-hand bottom graph. In 2012, only 20% of some of top 100 biomedicine was from the biomedicine. But the other 80% comes from small molecule, conventional medicine. But in 2018, the biomedicine portion increased to 53%. This increase may continue in the future as well. What is the key driving factors for increasing demand for bio product? First, it is continuous development of blockbuster biopharmaceuticals. Second, the great expansion of outsourcing strategy to prevent massive capital investment. The third, it is demand for multi-sourcing to secure supply stability in case of unexpected events. In summary, biotech product sales overtake conventional one in the top 100 products in 2018 for the first time. This pattern may continue in the future as well. Manufacturing demand for biologics outpaces capacity expansion. In addition to increase in the biomedicine demand, there is another big shock. It is COVID-19. Biotech may grow first due to COVID-19. If you look at the left-hand side bottom, it is a case of biosimilar. Impact analysis of COVID-19, biopharmaceutical industry will have direct impact on the market. Market growth will accelerate at the annual growth of over 30%. Incremental growth is about $8.65 billion. Growth in 2020, about 50%. So COVID-19 is another big momentum to develop new medicine. For the COVID-19 treatment, about 319 medicine, vaccine 229, products are under development. Therefore, COVID outbreak has added significantly unforeseen demand in such a short period of 10 months' time. Utilization rate of CDMO companies will continue to increase for ongoing demand and supply balance. If you look at the worldwide pharmaceutical R&D from the 2012 until 2019, this growth was 4.6% per annum. But from 2020 to 26, this growth will be lowered to 3.2% because of COVID-19 in 2020. But there is another trend. Globally, big pharma companies, they have their own in-house R&D capability, but they will increase the outsourcing dependency, as well as they outsource manufacturing service from third-party of CMO companies. NRDO, biotechs, startups, all of them outsource almost all of CDO, CRO, CMO business from third company development and manufacturing research service. That is a big trend of R&D side. Also, COVID-19 may lead expedite market changeover fast and better with the same quality of development. Before COVID-19, biomedicine development takes long and requires expensive process for high quality product. But after COVID-19, this paradigm may change and the market requires shortened timeline and reduction of development cost, even maintaining high quality product. How do we provide fast and better service for client satisfaction? There is three key elements. First one is we have to provide fully integrated service and solution to customers. And then also we have to localize the development and research function near to clients. And also we have to secure stable raw material supply because of all development and manufacturing service is linked to the stable supply. Together with these three key components, we have to digitalize. It is called the digital transformation to provide better accessibility, better visibility to clients. There is some example cases for better service to meet the market needs. Conventionally, FDA approval for the new drug development, it takes about 10 to 15 years for the preclinical, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, eventually FDA approval. But through the COVID-19 medicine development, it was accelerated and timeline of less than 2 years. During the preclinical, we can process safety and dose selection trials and safety and efficacy trials in parallel. Samsung Biologics also developed a faster timeline. Even current standard timeline of 12 months from cell line development to DP manufacturing, it is faster than competitors and the market from the cell line development, process development, tox manufacturing, drug substance manufacturing, drug product manufacturing. But with this COVID-19 situation, we developed a super faster timeline. From cell line to DP manufacturing, it takes only 7 months from 12 months. How to reduce that one? During the process development, we do tox manufacturing and drug substance manufacturing and drug product manufacturing in parallel. The other one is vertical integration in value chain. So biopharmaceutical industry, it has long and wide value chain from discovery, R&D, manufacturing, and sales and marketing. Samsung Biologics, we started a business from the CMO, mainly focused on drug substance manufacturing, but expanded business into drug product. Again, expanded to the small CMO with 1 to 2K liter size of bioreactors. 3 years ago, we started the CDO business. From last year, we started the CRO business for test and analysis to complete the whole process in one site. From next year, we can provide discovery service, CRO, to our clients. Once we complete this whole package, we can provide fully integrated service and solution to our clients. Therefore, this COVID-19, we will lead market paradigm change of fast and better as maintaining high quality service. We will provide super speed service as well with 620K liter capacity. The first plant was built in 2011 to 2013 with a capacity of 30K liter, consists of 6 bioreactors of 5K. It is very flexible to accommodate small orphan drug and also commercialized scale. This plant was equipped with a liquid and lyovial plant as well. Second plant, it is called jumbo plant. Why? Because this one is 5 times bigger than the first plant. In operational in 2016, consists of 10 bioreactors of 15K and 4 bioreactors of 1K equipped with liquid vials. For drug product, lyo plant will be added soon. Also equipped with QC service and PD laboratories. The third plant, it is called the dream plant. Why? Because this is leveraged all strengths of each plant 1, plant 2. This size is 180K liter, one of the largest plant in the world, consists of 12 bioreactors of 15K. It can be accommodate small, medium, and large size together, even with a big scale, with a pad batch, with N-1 perfusion, and CGMP operation from October 2018, QC laboratory, PD laboratory together. Very recently, we announced the number 4 plant. It is called super plant. Start groundbreaking in this year and complete by the end of 2022, in operational 2023. This is a whole combination of plant 1, 2, 3. It is consists of 15K of 12 bioreactor and 10K of 6 bioreactor and 8 bioreactor of 2K liters with N-1 perfusion capability. And other new technology is operational in 2023. Why it is super plant? We can provide super speed service to customers by putting everything in one plant, one place, especially number 4 plant. So all 4 plants are CGMP compliant with a dedicated quality control lab and process development unit. Once we complete number 4 plant, the whole capacity will be 620K. The market share of CMO business, about 30%, to be next door to the clients. Why we're expanding geographically in major global bioclusters? It is to get closer to our regional clients for stable supply and local tech transfer, easier and better communication with the clients. Our San Francisco CDO R&D Center was opened in October 2020. Boston, Europe, and China will be followed by 2024. Once we complete the global CDO belt, the CDO development capacity will be around 160 projects per year by 2025. Together with the physical capability of capacity, we are going to transform digitalization for better service. Why we are doing digitalization? First, it is to achieve data integrity through eliminating manual process. Second, eliminate human error and decrease reliance on manpower. The third, access key operational data remotely and rapidly. The fourth, accelerate business and operational processing with agility. As I mentioned, once we complete number 4 plant, the Biocampus 1 will be fully developed. Therefore, we will develop Biocampus 2, a little bit larger than first one. We are actively under discussion with the city and the central government to develop Biocampus 2. Biocampus 1, it is world's largest single manufacturing hub for mammalian cell culture. Biocampus 2, in addition to manufacturing expansion, we will more focus on R&D and working with biotech companies such as open innovation. I told you three key components to be successfully provide fast and better service to our clients. The most important thing is collaboration with stakeholders. It is key success factors. During the COVID-19, we produced and delivered all medicine to customers without any delay. With this, our performance, customer orders are increasing as a best practice for the crisis response and management. We will build competitive and the most sustainable supply chain in any crisis by localizing 80% of raw material in Korea by 2025. All success is a collaboration among clients, supplier, and Samsung Biologics. Thank you for your attention. This is the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Again, thanks, and I hope to see you soon again. Thank you.
We would like to thank all of the keynote speakers. Next is the Eureka seminars. A total of 3 seminars will be held concurrently. You can watch the first seminar on your screen now, and the second and third seminar by exiting the current screen and clicking on the screen next to it. You can watch replays of all presentations later on. We will now begin the first seminar titled Korean International R&D Programs. The first presentation will be delivered by the Korea Textile Development Institute.
Hello everyone, my name is Min-Gyu Sung. I'm going to explain about the International Cooperation Project of KTDI. This is the content. First one, Introduction to KTDI, a reader in R&D in high-tech materials. 2, Introduction to International Cooperation Project of KTDI. And number 3, Introduction to the status of MOU with the foreign institutions of KTDI. This is the introduction of KTDI. KTDI full name is Korea Textile Development Institute, which is a non-profit organization funded by central and local government since 1977, which is located in Daegu City, Korea. We have a total of 100 researchers, including 10 doctoral degree researchers. This is the main activity of KTDI. For the R&D part, we are developing a national project funded by central and local government, industrial project with textile companies, and international project with foreign countries. For the service and support part, we have a sample production system. We support test and analysis, education and training, and the textile information. This is the R&D areas of KTDI. For developing high-tech textiles, we can develop a bi-tri-component yarns, smart wearable device with textiles, medical textiles, and sports and leisure textiles. For developing industrial textiles, we can develop the various filters, composites for transportations, and frames for body for cars. We have some several parts of centers. This is a new textile development center. We have a pilot equipment for clothing and interiors. We have a sample production system. One-step service system from raw materials to fabrics. We have facilities for polymerization, melt spinning, texturizing, and weaving. This is the Super Textiles Development Center. We have a pilot equipment for industrial textile materials. We have facilities for melt spinning, texturizing, weaving, non-woven, braiding machine, and also we have unidirectional machines. This is a test and analysis center. We have a test report with international certification. We have 166 test equipment for testing, a regular functional test, industrial material test, analysis test, and we have an environmental chamber to measure the summer insulation of clothing. This is the Textile Information Center. We have a textile information database, more than 10,000 items. We can provide one offline service of textile information. This is the Manpower Training Center. We can have manpower education and job searching support for textile companies, students, and unemployment and unexperienced. This is the international cooperation project. KTDI will find domestic, small, and medium-sized companies that want to promote international joint technology development project related to high-tech materials, plan international joint projects, and carry out planning tasks to prepare and submit the proposals. We explore foreign companies with the technology they want to develop, researching and the promotion of international joint projects. We hold a seminar invited by domestic and foreign experts, research and provide overseas technical information that the companies want. This is the possible project cooperate with the KTDI. We support 4 high-tech materials among the top 5 international R&D areas. We can develop high function, high sensitivity, and high-tech materials such as heat and cold effect, antibacterial and deodorization, far infrared rays. We can develop the eco-friendly high-tech materials such as process technology without use harmful chemicals. Also, we can develop the energy-saving weaving and the finishing process, such as digital textile printing technology and fiber dyeing technology. A textile wearable device, such as biosignal transferable clothing materials, can develop advanced materials for safety protection, such as development of airbags for helmet, frame retardant materials. So we can develop advanced medical materials such as wound dressing, medical nanofiber materials, and other advanced materials. But this is the result so far. We have 4 times for domestic and international technical exchange seminars, 15 times for technical information service. We found 22 companies who want to perform international joint projects. And finally, we have 2 R&D, training and solution. The first one is development of textile fabrics for high sensitivity clothing using environmental friendly and high quality recycled textile manufacturing technology. This is for Korea and India International Cooperation Project. The second one is functionalization of composite pressure vessel with CNT monofilament sensors and smart valve for real-time imaging sense and structural condition assessment. This is for Korea and the German International Cooperation Project. This is the table of international projects performed by KTDI. We have 6 international projects performed with the countries like Romania, Turkey, Canada, Belgium, Germany, and Spain. Okay, this is the last part. This is the MOU Institute with KTDI. We have MOU with the country like Italy, Turkey, Belgium, German, France, Philippines, Uzbekistan, something like that. We have 11 foreign institutes that MOU with KTDI. Okay, thank you for your attention. Thank you.
The next presentation is by Electronics and Telecommunications Research Institute.
Hello everyone, I'm Ilsuro from Etri. It is a great honor to participate in 2020 Korea-Yure카데이. I'm gonna explain my presentation. The first one is an introduction of Etri, and second chapter is the role of NCC in ICT sector, and third one is NCC activities. This is our main campus located in Daejeon, and Etri was founded in 1976. We have 3 branches and 2 overseas offices in Silicon Valley, US, and Beijing, China. Our scope of areas are R&D in ICT area, strategic planning for national R&D policy, and engineering support for SMEs, and standardization activities. We have more than 2,200 people, and 90% of our people are researchers, and 170 administrative staffs, and we have 74 technical staffs. And we have around $500 million for annual budgets. And we have 4 main research labs, including AI, telecommunications, and media research, and intelligent convergence, and ICT creative research labs. Also, we have mission-oriented research department, including KSB, SDF, and DMC. And also, we have a local research center, including Daegu, Honam, and Seoul, and SME and commercialization division, which covers and supporting SME activities and commercialization in E3. And we have 3 supporting divisions, including planning division, administration division, and public relations department. This is our R&D structure. Government to make a policy and provide a project fund, and we develop technology and we make a license and transfer our technologies. And industry make a commercialization and royalty sharing with us. This is our innovation ecosystem. We are in the middle of university and industry, and we work together, and sometimes we compete each others. So in the middle, we work with the university for the basic research, and we mainly focusing on R&D applied research, and we transfer our technology to the industries. This is our major achievement. Since 1990s, we developed DRAM, CDMA, and recently we developed AI technologies. And this is our standardization and SCI paper. We produce more than 1,000 SCI papers, and recent 5 years we apply around 14,000 patents. Also, recent 5 years we transfer our technology more than 2,000 cases, and we have 163 organizations in 45 countries. This is our R&D cooperation networks. Recently, we focus on United States and European countries for joint R&D activities. This is the second chapter. I'm going to explain the role of NCC in the ICT sector. Our vision is enhancing global ICT R&D capability and activities. And for that goal, we prepare R&D planning, global cooperation networks, and provision of information. For that, we have a R&D agenda finding, EU consortium project, and E3 US R&D cooperation projects in R&D planning. And for the global cooperation network, we are providing supporting global R&D demand, partner matchmaking, and global domestic network DB. And for the provision of information, we provide a tech report, global and local market expert consultation, and newsletters. This is our supporting function of NCC. For R&D planning, we have R&D planning expert group and regional R&D expert group and in-house R&D consultation groups. For the global cooperation networks, we have E3 R&D network and E3 SME and commercialization division networks. For the provision of information, we have E3 overseas center in United States and China, and also in EU, we have one person in Kirk. Also, R&D market reports by E3 sector experts we have. This is our R&D planning activities since last year. Mainly we are focusing on multilateral project, but sometimes we have bilateral projects, including Germany, UK, Spain, Swiss, Italy, and United States. Mainly 50% of our joint research projects are executed with the United States. And for the multilateral project, we focus on Horizon 2020 and also Eurostar and Eureka. And recently, we drive R&D project planning with NIST in United States, and we develop several projects. And also we have actually KIAT and Fraunhofer joint R&D project. And this is our networking and business database for the network building activities. We have a ULI and Israel for the LOC and NDA. And also we had technology event with IMEC and University of Oulu and FON, UK. This is our activities since last year. We went to the Lamoro Lab, Zagreb University, and we held the Canada Embassy's webinar seminar, and we participated in the CKC 2020 and Global Cooperation Forum and 8th GitHub Foundation Day. And also we had a Korea-Indonesia Tech Roadshow last year. Thank you very much.
The next presentation is by the Korea Automotive Technology Institute.
Hi everyone, my name is Jae-Yong Park from Korea Automotive Technology Institute, KIAT. I'm in charge of international R&D cooperation in this institute. It's my great pleasure to have an idea pitch at 2020 Korea-Yure카데이. In this presentation, I will introduce who is KIAT and how we cooperate with you and some ideas for the Eureka project. First of all, KIAT celebrated 30th anniversary in this year. The headquarters of KIAT is located at Cheonan City and is about 1.5 hours away from Seoul, Korea. Our organization consists of 13 R&D divisions and 28 R&D centers, including regional branches. A total of 550 researchers are working in various automotive technology areas. We are focusing on core technology development of fuel cell electric vehicle, xEV, autonomous vehicle, and V2X technology with 5G, LTE, and Wave. Now, how we cooperate in a Eureka platform. Korea Automotive Technology Institute is designated National Collaboration Center, NCC, in automotive area by KIAT. Also, KIAT has been supporting systematic international joint R&D with Korean SME and OEM in auto industry. A potential Eureka project consortium could be made as shown in the picture. KIAT will find Korean companies that meet the R&D area of cooperation with EU partners. It could be university, R&D institute, or company. Now, I prepared for 3 idea pitch today, and this is the first one of them. It is developing hybrid V2X technology based on low safety system for cooperative connected automated mobility. Now we call it CCAM. Korean participants are SNET and KIAT. SNET will develop system and KIAT will verify its performance. And we are looking EU partners for AI-based cybersecurity for a certain application. Also, we'll collaborate the proof of concept for CCAM service. So, if you are interested in this idea, please contact me for more detailed information. Second idea is to develop non-destructive testing we call NDT technology for compressed hydrogen storage system, CHSS. Area of R&D field are shown in the picture, as you can see. Korea side will develop pre-service inspections technology and also non-destructive evaluation system, could be a testing machine. EU side will develop in-service inspection technology for CHSS, and will both have an empirical study together for CHSS. And last but not least, it is to develop 3D time-of-flight camera for automotive application. Korean company iTops Automotive have a new technology for 3D TOF camera system. We are looking for an EU partner to integrate the system in automotive application. We could have R&D cooperation to build more accurate recognition system together in hardware and software area. Now, this is not the idea pitch, but I would like to introduce some of the context R&D history. First one is to develop technology for autonomous shuttle bus. In this project, we developed autonomous driving system, vehicle platform, and sensors such as camera, radar, and LiDAR. Also, we developed technology to provide useful information for passengers on window display system. And also, we had demonstration in Sejong and Daegu to increase social acceptance of autonomous shuttle bus. Next one is to demonstrate a hydrogen bus with autonomous component and system. In this project, 9 core components including V2X, map and positioning, and DCU for the bus have been developing. Also, to secure safety of vehicle, we applied ISO 26262, which is functional safety standard. Last one is to develop technology for demonstrating hydrogen fueling station for the bus. In this project, we construct and operate various types of hydrogen station to develop Korean charging station standard. And to secure technology for operating charging station, a hydrogen bus and a simulator were both used. Also, we verify the performance and reliability of domestic component of hydrogen charging system. This is the end of my presentation. If you are interested in any technology that I introduced today, please contact us as shown in this page. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that we can meet you in person for a Eureka project later. Thank you very much.
The next presentation is by the Korea Electronics Technology Institute.
Hello everyone, I am Catherine Chung of Global Cooperation Department of Korea Electronics Technology Institute, KIAT. Today, I would like to give you a brief introduction of KIAT and its activities regarding R&D, business cooperation, and global cooperation. KIAT was founded in 1991 as the sole IT research institute established by the private sector comprised of 74 large and small businesses in the electronics industry. Since then, KIAT has led the growth of local businesses, serving as a business-friendly institute. And KIAT's mission in the fourth industrial revolution era is to help achieve self-reliance in technology and serve as a growth platform for small and medium-sized enterprises. We have 7 R&D divisions and 3 regional branches. This year, the budget amounts to around 200 billion Korean won, which is approximately 166 million euro. And our R&D divisions are located in Yatab, Pangyo, Sangam, Bucheon, which is close to the capital Seoul, and Gwangju, Jeonbuk, Changwon, near to the local industries. If we look into KIAT's R&D strategy, we have defined 4 base technologies which are advanced materials, smart sensors, IoT, and AI, and 5 application fields, which are autonomous mobility, smart manufacturing, clean energy, intelligent device, and immersive media. The 4 base technologies are catalyst technologies, which can create new added value combined with various areas. And the 5 application fields are where high added value can be generated by utilizing those catalyst technologies. And first of all, on the left side, I would like to introduce our LiDAR technology, which has been on par with those provided by German and US companies. And currently, KIAT is working with Hyundai Motors for commercializing the LiDAR system. And on the right, wireless access to vehicle environment is shown, and KIAT's Wave has the top-notch communication success rate, 99%. And this technology is also embedded into Zero Shuttle, the autonomous vehicle model, which is now being tested and demonstrated on the road in Pangyo, Korea. And in addition, a hybrid V2X module combining Wave with LTE and 5G is currently under development. Regarding smart manufacturing, we are taking the initiative in IIoT Smart Factory platform, and KIAT is operating a Smart Manufacturing Innovation Center located in Ansan. And the center holds a demo factory, which is the world's first 5G-enabled smart factory testbed. And this allows you to test key smart manufacturing technologies, including AI, big data, 3D printing, and AR/VR. And the smart factory was approved by the International Internet Consortium in 2018 as the best testbed. And the factory was also the place where Manufacturing Renaissance Vision Declaration ceremony presided over President Moon took place last year. And along with this, in terms of smart manufacturing, KIAT holds 3D printing equipment and materials and its relevant technologies. We also developed the technology of AI bin picking, which allows robots to pick up and place specific objects out of bins, and we are aiming to contribute to future manufacturing and logistics revolution. In this slide, you can see what we have doing in the energy sector. And to be specific, we developed heating materials based on carbon nanomaterials, which can reach up to 250 degrees Celsius within 10 seconds at low voltage. And we are cooperating with companies such as BMW and HP for commercialization. And I would also like to mention that we are operating the DC Electrical and Electronics Innovation Support Center to provide various tests and development plus distribution of DC-based energy system in response to the wider use of DC load system, including smartphones and electric vehicles. In addition, we have developed a virtual power plant platform which enables optimal management of different power resources. And also in 2017, we started a new project with ExxonMobil of US to build a remote terminal unit that interoperates between different CPUs and IC cards. And as an open architecture software platform, it is going to be applied to oil and gas wellheads after feasibility tests. And regarding AI, which is a great topic these days, KIAT is the organizer of the nation's big AI project titled as Autonomous Digital Companion, and developed the very first domestic AI-based sign language recognition technology. The technology enables cameras to recognize sign language with a high accuracy of 96%, and without the need for any three-dimensional information extraction system. And apart from this, KIAT also has neuromorphic semiconductor, which uses AI and imitates how the brain functions and stores data, and deep learning-based multimedia recognition technology. and an AI platform based on the analysis of surgeon's motion to collect and analyze big data in medicine. In this slide, you can see our works in the immersive media technology, and KIAT's winter sports experience platform is deployed in Busan National Science Museum. And you can actually experience VR ski jumping while being actually hanged on wires. And we also have IoT-based visualization technology for electric power facility, and it can be used for monitoring and maintaining the facilities and training programs. Next is KIAT's business cooperation. And I want to emphasize that KIAT has been working very closely with companies of various sizes from many industry sectors since the establishment. And one of KIAT's mission from the foundation is to support SMEs in terms of their research and business. The Institute has supported SMEs with the business cooperation platform through its website and holding offline events. Our support encompasses the entire life cycle of business support activities, ranging from joint technology development by meeting the needs of industrial fields, technology transfer, reliability tests and evaluation, open access to research facilities, and business incubation. And regarding global cooperation, KIAT serves as one of the 4 National Collaboration Center, the NCC, to promote international cooperation and related activities. KIAT's role as NCC is to secure the foundation for corporate technology innovation by establishing a global industrial technology cooperation network. And second, to promote overseas commercialization of companies by linking KIAT's technology with the demand of global companies. And third, the enhancement of corporate technological competitiveness through the implementation of the government's industrial technology development and industrial trade cooperation policies. And the basic process is shown here in the slide. And as a research institute, we aim to support the industry through bilateral, multilateral, strategic joint R&D projects. This slide shows our current international joint projects and the matching countries in the world map. And we have projects with many EU members, including Germany, France, Italy, Denmark, Finland, Czech Republic, and also the UK. And the research domains of them are electric vehicle, display, smart factory, in other words, IoT and industrial IoT, AI, energy IT, autonomous driving, and smart city. So therefore, if you are trying to search for a Korean partner institute or company, if you want more information to explore the technology conferences and matchmaking events held in Korea, and if you need someone who can lead you to the right person to discuss international joint projects, please do not hesitate to contact us, and we are willing to work with you. This is the end of my presentation, and thank you for your time.
The next presentation is by the Korea Institute of Advanced Technology Europe Office.
Hello everybody, I'm Jason Kang, Director of KIAT Europe Office in Brussels, and it is very nice to meet you, and I am very happy to be here for the Korea-Eureka today because this event was postponed several times in this year because of coronavirus, but we finally having this event, even though this is online, but I am very thanks for this opportunity to present about our cooperation program between Korea and Europe. This is the contents of my presentation today, and I'd like to start with the overview of the KIAT. The KIAT is the policy planning and R&D funding agency under the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Energy. And the KIAT is in charge of the international technology cooperation of the MOTIS R&D programs. And the KIAT is also the national program coordinator of Eureka Network. And we are annually invest 50 million euros only for the international R&D cooperation programs. And besides of the international R&D cooperation, we are working on the industrial technology policy planning, and we also support for the academy industry collaborations and local industry promotion and many others in the programs we are operating regarding the industrial technology sectors in Korea. In order to cooperate with foreign countries, currently the KIAT has 6 overseas offices in all of the world. Now I am working in the KIAT Europe office in Brussels, in Belgium, and the KIAT Europe is working mainly for international R&D cooperation with Eureka Network and many other European countries. And also we are working on the research for the industrial technology policy in Europe. And also we are doing the building a network with European research institute and universities and funding agencies and government agencies. And we also support Korean companies for the R&D collaboration in Europe. And next, let's move on to the international technology cooperation programs. And basically, we have 2 kinds of R&D collaboration. Firstly, as a multilateral R&D collaboration, the Korea is working with the Eureka Network. Korea is a membership country of the Eureka Network, so we can cooperate with all of the Eureka's R&D programs, and we can cooperate with the 46 membership countries without any additional governmental agreement with each of the European countries. And also the Eureka Network is managing the R&D program with a regular basis. So which means that we can provide a lot of R&D funding opportunities to the Korean companies, regular basis, and with many of European countries. So that is the most important advantage through the cooperating with the Eureka Network. And also we have some bilateral R&D programs. In order to cooperate in a little bit more specific technology area, we are making a bilateral R&D cooperation agreement with some of the countries. And so now we have the bilateral R&D agreement with 14 countries, and 10 of those countries are actually European countries. And, as I told you at the previous page, we also have a multilateral R&D program based on the Eureka Network and Horizon 2020. Eureka Network has basically have 4 different R&D programs, which is the Eureka Network and Eureka Cluster and Global Stars and Eurostars. And this is a little bit more detail about the Eureka programs in Horizon 2020. First of all, we have a Eureka Network program. Actually, the Eureka Network program is the most general program in the Eureka Network. So the most of innovative entities can participate the Eureka Network program. For example, the universities and research institute and small and medium-sized companies and large companies, they also can apply the Eureka Network program if they make a consortium with one of the Eureka membership countries. So that this cover is offers the opportunity for the variety range of the companies and industry sectors. And the next one is the Eureka Cluster programs. This program is especially for the industry-driven R&D project. So currently in Eureka Network, there are 6 clusters working on right now, and each of the cluster is focusing on their own specific technology areas. So I think this is one of the easiest way to finding partners and creating the joint R&D project through the joining a cluster. So I think that this is one of the unique program in the Eureka network. So I hopefully as many Korean companies as participated in the Eureka cluster program as possible. And the next one is Global Stars. This Global Star program is for the cooperating with the non-EU countries. This is for the globalization of the European countries, but the Korea is also the member country of Eureka Network, so we can also participate. We can also participate in the Global Star program. So recently, the Eureka Network had a joint core Global Star program with Japan and Singapore, and Korea also participated in the Global Star of Singapore programs. So this is another good opportunity that we can cooperate with beyond the European country. So I expect that we can cooperate with these South American countries and African countries through these Global Star programs. And the next one is the Eurostar 2. This program is only especially designed for the small and medium-sized company. So actually, the Eurostar 2 is the most in-demand program in the Eureka network. So when Korean companies initiate the project with European country, most of European countries are suggesting they apply for the Eurostar 2 at the first time. So this is one of the most important program in the Eureka network. And the last one is the Horizon 2020. This is not belong to the Eureka network. Actually, the Horizon is the bigger the framework program above the Eureka network, but the Horizon is the huge framework program. So the KIAT is not funding to every project under the Horizon 2020. But if the project belongs to the innovation action sectors, we also provide the fund for the project. This is about some figures we supported during last 10 years. The first three, the Eureka network programs. During last 10 years, we supported 71 network projects. The 58% of the Korean participant was from the small and medium-sized companies, and 87% of projects are being led by the small and medium-sized companies or the mid-tier companies. And this is a figure about the cluster programs. During last 10 years, we funded 43 Eureka cluster projects. So for the Eureka cluster programs, 96 Korean companies participated in the programs. And, as you can see in the graph, the most in-demand cluster was the ITEA and Certing Next, because the Korean industry is, there are a lot of small and medium-sized companies for the telecommunication industry and the IT industry in Korea. So that's why the many Korean companies applied for the ITEA and Certing Next. But as you can see here, from 2019, it is spreading to the other cluster. So the companies are trying to apply for the other clusters. So I expect that we may have more cluster program with more clusters from next year. And this is about the Eurostars. From 2014, Korea has funded 36 Eurostar projects. So annually we are funding to the 7 to 8 projects, and those projects are mostly focusing on the bio and medical device sectors and the electronics component sectors. And this shows which country the Korea is mostly cooperating with. The number one country was the Spain. We made a lot of projects with Spain and France and Turkey and Finland and Germany and Netherlands. And when we started the international cooperation, at that time we had a lot of the cooperation program with Spain and Turkey. So it continued annually. So that's why we have a lot of cooperation program with these countries. This is about the bilateral R&D programs. Actually, it is quite difficult to show the number of projects by each of the countries, but if you look around about the number of projects for each of the technology area, we are cooperating with the other country for the bio and medical devices areas and machineries and advanced materials industries. So through this bilateral joint R&D projects, we are annually supporting for about 30 projects every year, which is good number. And then I will talk about the KIAT Europe office programs. The KIAT Europe is also doing the research for the industrial technology policy in Europe, and we are producing and publishing some reports and the informations, and we are using the GT Online to share all those information to the Korean companies. And so I hope you can look around the GT Online to get the information about the international technology cooperation. At this moment, actually, we do not have an English version of the GT Online, but we are working on to renewal of the GT Online. So I guess from next year, we're going to have a GT Online English web page, and then we can share some information, technology cooperation information with many countries. And also we have some information about the KTech consulting, the programs in the GT Online. So you can look around, look up the expert, Korean expert, who can support Korean companies. So the GT Online is the KIAT Europe office operating the GT Online with that purpose. And the next one is a technology seminar. The KIAT Europe office operating, organizing the technology seminar several times, many times a year. For sometimes we are cooperating with European Research Institute to having a seminar in Korea and some kind of B2B matchmaking. And sometimes we are inviting some Korean delegation to the Europe and to make a seminar with European Research Institute. And sometimes we are doing the B2B matchmaking in Europe with those the research institute and universities and European countries. So, but unfortunately this year, because of the coronavirus, we couldn't organize the technology seminars, but I hope we can have a lot of the opportunity from next year. And also we are operating for the KTech programs. KTech stands for the Korea Technology Advisory Group. Actually, this is KTech is kind of Korean technology expert and engineers who is working in European countries. So currently we have 74 KTech members in Europe from 14 different countries. So their main role is supporting Korean companies when they making the R&D cooperation with European countries, because many of the small and medium-sized companies in Korea have some kind of problems or they are struggling to designing and finding out the partners in Europe because they don't have any experience of cooperating with European countries. In that kind of case, the KTech Europe is supporting those companies. And so in order to do that, we have KTech consulting programs to support those companies. So I hope many Korean companies can utilize this program, apply for this program to have a good opportunity with European countries. And lastly, I'd like to a little bit talk about the next year plans. Actually, the next year, 2012 one is the quite important year in Europe because Horizon Europe will launch next year, and because of the frame of program is changing next year, many of European R&D program also will be changed, slightly changed their funding schemes. For example, in Eureka Network, the Eureka Network is progressing to renewable. They are working on to the update the Eureka cluster programs, and also the Eurostat Eurostar 2 program will be also changing to the Eurostar 3 from next year. So that program also, the funding scheme is also changing. So we are closely working with the Eurostar network regarding those issues, and we are closely looking at what is going on in the network. And regardless of the how the funding scheme is changing, we would like to more expand our funding to the international technology cooperation. So we are we are trying to discover the new partner countries for the bilateral cooperation, and also we are upgrading our technology area with the currently existing bilateral countries. So this year the KIAT made some kind of international technology roadmap, and we selected some of the strategic priority technology sectors, as you can see here. So from next year, the KIAT is going to a little bit more focus on these technology sectors, and hopefully we can expand our international program from next year. Thank you very much.
The next presentation is by the Korea-German Technology Cooperation Center at KIAT.
I am Johannes Pietzka, the head of the recently established KGTCC, Korea-German Technology Cooperation Center in Aachen-Herzogenrath in Germany. I'm pleased to have the opportunity to introduce KGTCC within the scope of this important EUREGA conference. During the recent International Conference 2020, held by MOTI and KIAT, I highlighted the importance of cooperation and networks in order to make innovation processes as effective as possible. In a minute you will see that our KGTCC incorporates this idea from the very outset. As I mentioned before, the purpose of KGTCC is to foster the relationship between Korean companies and the German research and enterprise landscape. The background is that Germany as well as Korea, both countries have strength in certain industries and want to combine this to the mutual benefit. The ground for this was laid about a year ago when the Korean Minister of Economic Affairs, Mr. Yoon Mo-sung, and Minister President Armin Laschet signed a respective agreement. The KGTCC is located in Aachen, Herzogenrath in North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany. North Rhine-Westphalia's capital is Düsseldorf and has a population of about 18 million people. North Rhine-Westphalia's GDP is roughly 20% of the total German GDP. And in North Rhine-Westphalia we have a vivid research landscape with about 70 universities. The biggest universities is RWTH Aachen, very close to the center located. RWTH Aachen alone has more than 250 institutes. The KGTCC is located in the Technologiepark Herzogenrath, TPH, which is one of Germany's largest technology parks. The first step was to identify the status and cooperation needs of the 10 companies. And in the second step, we surveyed RWTH Aachen for suitable institutes. In the third step, each of the 10 companies has received a list of FETH institutes that are potentially suitable for cooperation. And we are waiting feedback from the 10 companies now. This is a list of the 10 companies, and you see that 4 of them are machinery, 4 of them are from the automotive sector, 1 is electric and electronics, and 1 is from the biotechnological sector. So this was a very quick survey of the KGTCC. Thank you very much.
The next presentation is by the Korea EU Research Center.
Hello everyone, I'm Myunjun Kim, working for Korea EU Research Center, namely KIAT. It's very nice to see you, even though we should hold a virtual meeting due to a strange environment. Actually, I belong to National Research Foundation of Korea, and I was dispatched to KIAT here in Belgium since March of last year. KIAT serves as a cooperation hub for international collaboration between Korea and Europe. Today, I would like to deliver a short presentation under the title of How to Utilize the Platform. Let me share the slide with you. Well, at this presentation, you will be provided with the way of utilizing KIAT as a cooperation platform. Let me start with brief introduction, including history and its main roles. KIAT was established in 2013 as a result of the fourth Joint Science and Technology Cooperation Committee between Korean government and European Commission. In 2017, there had been some reformation of its function, and then it was renamed as KIAT from KIC. KIAT is located at European Quarter in Brussels. Considering the respective activities, it is officially registered to local government as an independent non-profit entity. Regarding main objectives, please refer to the bottom of slide. KIAT aims at playing a pivot role of a bridgehead to enhance Korea-Europe R&D collaboration. Accordingly, we make efforts to raise mutual understanding, to build and provide a certain infrastructure for cooperation, and to respond to the needs in the field of R&D of both sides, sometimes to explore demands. Under these objective and main roles, there are 4 types of activities. First, informing and knowledge sharing. Please note that most of the analyzed and produced documents are available on the KIAT website with a very simple registration. Second, pathfinding. Especially for Korean researchers, Europe is still far and there seems a lack of information compared to US or Japan or China. In this regard, like a lighthouse in darkness, KIAT tries to find and show a proper path to international cooperation through introducing relevant opportunities and also holding several info days. Third, as a networking hub, we have built linkage to Korean and European researchers and institutes. Especially, we initiated a community with 10 European research institutes. Fourth, other facilitation activities. KIAT is a national coordinator of NCP, which is an efficient scheme for promoting the framework program of the European Union. Next, main performances in 2019 and 2020 2020, will guide you easily how to utilize the platform. KIRC publishes regularly a newsletter corresponding Korean side and European as well. Also, we participated in some book writing and published useful documents. As was mentioned in the previous slide, KIRC has held several info days to attract and promote joint activities of Korean and European researchers. Regarding networking, we have made close relationship with European institutes. Notably, based on this activity, we built a structured association which is led by KIRC. You can see on the slide that there are 12 member organizations of 11 countries from Europe and Korea. KIRC is in charge of Secretariat, and the European Commission attends as an observer. This association, namely UKOR community, will implement diverse roles and activities to enhance the cooperation between Korea and Europe, and also to foster participation in Horizon 2020 and Horizon Europe of member countries. This slide shows on which activities KIRC have focused in this year. I'd like to skip but one thing. EU Research Korea, you may understand it as a brand new scheme for young researchers who intend to study and work abroad. We have collected and analyzed the relevant programs or vacancies, such as postdoctoral position and research fellow programs that researchers can apply and be recruited in Europe and Korea. At the end of this month, there will be a special session of EU Research Korea on the KIRC website. With this scheme, we will not only share the useful information, but also support young researchers by consulting and partnering. For your information, let me briefly introduce funding opportunities for Korea-Europe collaboration under the programs of National Research Foundation. In general, there are three types of program for international cooperation. First and second programs are related to the participation in Horizon 2020. Korea-EU Cooperation Promotion Program supports Korean researchers who plan to apply for Horizon 2020. Of course, Horizon Europe from next year. Researchers can utilize this program to hold a topic seminar or consortium meeting for preparation. Korea-EU Joint Research Program provides Korean researchers who join officially as consortium member of Horizon 2020 project with their matching fund, which is necessary for Korean participants. In short, you may apply the first program to prepare participation in Horizon 2020. And once your project succeeds, you can be provided with the matching fund through the second program. Along with these programs for multilateral cooperation, NRF manages diverse programs for bilateral cooperation with European countries. You may refer to the partner countries on the slide. Whenever you need any information more in detail, please don't hesitate to contact NRF or KIRC. Well, I would like to conclude my short presentation regarding Korea-Europe R&D cooperation. If you need practical or helpful information, if you seek a proper partner, if you want to be informed of European funding opportunities, of course, Korean too, or if you need anything else regarding international collaboration between Korea and Europe, please knock the door of KIAT. Your visit will be always warmly welcomed. Well, I hope every audience stay safe and additionally stay connected to KIAT. In near future, I hope to see you via online or just in case at our building in Brussels. Well, thank you very much for your listening. Thank you.
We will now conclude the 2020 Korea Eureka Day. On behalf of the organizers, I would like to thank everyone who has joined us today. Thank you so much for your interest and support. We hope that today's forum provided us with the opportunity to strengthen international R&D collaboration between Korea and Europe. Thank you.